It's called Know Your Drains and Radiators.
Okay.
Sounds pretty
Sounds
odd. I will
good. Sounds
explain
good.
it.
Yeah.
So, first, have a guess at the single most important predictor of a long and healthy life.
The funniest answer came to mind. Quadricep strength is one that is linked to lifespan, as
Correct?
well as grip strength is linked to
Mhm,
lifespan.
mhm,
Whether or not you live on a hill and walk to up and down hills is a lot.
mhm,
Your social environment and whether or not you treat old people as valuable or not, all these things link into
mhm, mhm,
lifespan. But of course, all this ties back to health ultimately. So,
mhm.
I mean, what is the answer that you had prepared for us?
You're pretty good. So, well, it's Harvard's claim. They've done the longest study on human behavior. So they've been studying 724 men since 1938, so the time of the Great Depression. They've been studying them every single year, the ones that are still alive. And they found that the ones that lead the healthiest, longest lives are those that lean in to relationships with their friends, their family, and their community. So your social point was
Mm,
on the money. It's not about exercise, it's not about food, it's not even
hmm.
about necessarily muscle strength. All of those things, of course, contribute. But what they found is the answer is quality relationships, which I
Mm,
found pretty amazing. And it
hmm.
made me reflect on just how carefully we choose the people that we spend our time with.
Yep. Yep.
And that's how we came up with this idea of drains and radiators. So, drains being there are people in your life that you spend time with and you feel drained. You feel like your energy has been sapped out of you. And then there are people who are radiators. They are warm and they fill you up and they make you feel like the sun is shining on you as a result of spending time with them. And then there's
Mm,
lots of people in between. And so, one of the exercises that we do in a wealthy workshop is we have people just list 10 people just off the top of their head. Could be work, could be home life. And then we get them to draw across the page a big line, drains, radiators, and then we have them plot those 10 people across. And they get like 30 seconds to do it. So no time to really overthink it. It's just boom, 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 boom. And people are sat like staring at the page like, whoa, they've never really thought about it that way before for most people. And it seems a little bit brutal. But actually, when you realize that this is the most important thing that is determining how long and healthy your life is, it's
mm,
really, really important.
mm.
However, finding who your radiators are is simple. Spending time with them right now is not so simple. We are all around the world being kept apart like we never have been before. These are strange times indeed. So, our tip is to find your radiators, first of all, work out who they are, the people that fill your tank up rather than depleting it. And then to find a way to get to your radiators, working with the restrictions that you have in your region or your country right now. If you can meet with people still, whether it be outside or with the relevant precautions, then do so. Meet them safely. And there might be somebody that you end up with on your chart who is a radiator, that's someone you work with, but maybe you don't even work with them that much, but they just fill you up when you speak to them. They make you laugh. Then maybe it's time to ask them some advice on a project, for some input, and to meet with them in an appropriate place at a safe distance. The pleasure and the happiness that you could get from that hour, that experience, is likely to be quite a creative experience, quite a useful experience, but ultimately will make you feel happy and more productive than you might have done for weeks. Also, we're big fans of bringing back the spontaneous call, as we call it. It feels like everything is so scheduled now. And I
Mm.
think even more so with everybody working from home. It feels like every hour, every minute is a scheduled Zoom call. And it is okay to just pick up the phone and ring someone that you really like at work, as if you were at the water cooler just having a natter in the good old days of going into the office. Because great creative thoughts come out of those conversations. It's why companies like Google created their offices in a way in which there would be human friction. People are designed to bump into each other in corridors and spaces because they know that that unplanned human connection creates great ideas and great thoughts and creates networks that might not have existed otherwise.